So I had accidentally deleted one of the videos because I thought that I was doing something different. So I'm going to go over page 134 of Volume 1, The Adventures of Susan MeeLing, Scuba Diver Extraordinaire, Volume 1, Chapters 1 through 4, written by Susan MeeLing, all over again, because, you know, I accidentally deleted the video that just... So, although I've discussed this multiple times, I'll be honest, it's just funny to say Cactus Jack, despite the fact that I know Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr. does not like it at all. And so I had told him that, because he had been at the certification in Aquarina Hot Springs in San Marcos, Texas, and he had worn that 151 t-shirt in San Marcos, Texas, a little bit closer to San Antonio than, you know, Carrollton, Texas, but nonetheless, whenever he would wear that stupid 151 Road Warrior t-shirt. Told him he shouldn't, but he didn't want to listen to me. He tried saying that the people that I went scuba diving with liked him better than they liked me. I was just like, I don't feel that way, but that's not really like a competition thing. I don't know what's wrong with you. A lot is the answer, a lot. But, so here is a picture to prove that, whatchamacallit, I was not engaged, dating, or anything at the time. This is a Christmas picture of me, my daughter, and my son taken in November of 2008. And I'm a proud mom, so, you know. So that's my daughter, Lydia Louise. That's my son, James Michael. That's my son, James Michael. That's my daughter, Lydia Louise. That's my son, James Michael. That's my daughter, Lydia Louise. I'm a very proud mom. I'm an extremely proud mom. That's my son, James Michael. My daughter, Lydia Louise. That's my son, James Michael. That's me, you know, mom. There's my son, James Michael. That's me. You know, my son, James Michael. That's me. It's my daughter, Lydia Louise. Me, my son, James Michael. Son, James Michael. Daughter, Lydia Louise. Me, their mom. And yeah, you can see the family resemblance. I mean, obviously. That's my son, James Michael. That's my daughter, Lydia Louise. That's my son, James Michael. That's me. It's my daughter, Lydia Louise. That's me. And it's my son, James Michael. I'm a very proud mom. The amount of pictures. I actually used to have, like, I think I was up to 33 photo albums by the time of, like, 2008, yeah, about the end of 2000, and the majority of them are pictures I took of my children. Yeah, no, 2009, by that time, before I got into scuba diving. That's the type of mom I am. So, my daughter, Lydia Louise, me, my son, James Michael, my daughter, Lydia Louise, my daughter, Lydia Louise, a very proud mom. Very proud mom. And then, you know, those are a couple pictures of me because the person that was at the JCPenney picture portrait studio, I had talked with them about scuba diving. They were like, oh, well, you know, why don't I just take a few pictures of you, like, right now? Because I talked about my Palm Sunday 2000 head injury. Apparently that makes a little bit more sense right now. So that's my daughter, Lydia Louise, and that's me. It's me, my daughter, Lydia Louise. Me, my daughter, Lydia Louise. She got her hair cut because she was determined to have a haircut like mine. And I told her, I really want you to think about that because I get stuff for my... And she was so determined. My daughter, she put gum in her hair. And she's like, I will get a hair. Okay, I love you. Fine. So, my daughter, Lydia Louise. Me, my son, James Michael. My daughter, Lydia Louise. Me, my son, James Michael. My daughter, Lydia Louise. Little collage. I realize that now. Miss Senna must laugh. Me, my son James Michael, me, my daughter Lydia Louise, me, my daughter Lydia Louise, me, my son James Michael, me, my son James Michael, me, my son James Michael, my daughter Lydia Louise, me and my daughter Lydia Louise, my son James Michael, my daughter Lydia Louise, my son James Michael, and me. Yeah, I am a very proud mom. And I know that there's pictures coming. So there's one more. So there's my son James Michael and me, my daughter Lydia Louise, my son James Michael, me, my daughter Lydia Louise, and me. My son James Michael, my daughter Lydia Louise, me, my daughter Lydia Louise, my son James Michael. I'm a very proud mom. I don't deny it. There's nothing wrong with taking pictures and make sure that you can watch them grow. I love my children. Point being, yes, I am very proud. Very, very proud mom. With that being said, I also like to take pictures. And as I go on with the different pictures that I took when scuba diving, as a preface, I did not edit them and I did not use Photoshop. So the depth levels and stuff like that, that's where I was. So thus proving with those family pictures with my pattern of behavior, if I had actually been with Cactus Jack, aka Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., then would have actually been in the picture, but not at all. So that was in 2008 in November, which was before scuba diving. So, you know, no, we were not together. He was just there because he would not leave. Would not leave. Like, I literally had to pack up his stuff and be like, go, get away from me, stay away from me, don't have anything to do with me, don't be near my children, don't go anywhere in the vicinity of, I don't want to have anything to do with you at all. Like, we can be associates-ish, but not anything more than that because I don't like you. Like, if you change who you are and become a decent human being, maybe, but probably not. And, you know, he kept wearing that stupid 151 Road Warrior t-shirt thing, which was annoying. And so, as he wanted to talk all sorts about that, like he did when he was in San Antonio, when in Carrollton, it was like, you said people traveled for your 151 thing, and he was like, yeah, don't you think you shouldn't wear that t-shirt? No, I'm going to wear it because it's going to impress all of your scuba diver friends. All right, I'm going to parade you around because I am a sadist, I'm a brat, but I am a dominant sadist nonetheless. I can be very bratty, and I'm not, I hope they know I am not touting you around in the way you think you're being, like, whatever, because you're no trophy boy. So, you know, just gonna, although you're a trophy if you get freaking caught for being a terrorist because you sound like a terrorist. I kept telling him he sounded like a terrorist for what he did during Fiesta in San Antonio, Texas. I don't know what year. I know that there are people who do know what year, but, you know, I told him he sounded like a terrorist every time. And so, whatchamacallit, I do acknowledge that because of Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., who wanted to meet my biological family, that was why we started talking again. And, you know, they mainly chose him, just like my now dead ex-husband. But my ex-in-laws were informed that they were put on my life insurance policy before I went to Georgia and then Florida for my scuba diving. I'll get into that more in detail in other portions, but in a real quick, Mary Evangelina Nichols Osteen of Macon, Georgia, you know, the one that had put the revolver in two different individuals' faces from prior videos where I've discussed that. She had said that I would get to go scuba diving because I wanted to make sure I could, because in the Georgetown Aquarium in Georgia, you can like swim with the great whale sharks. And I like the great whale sharks. And they're so cute little babies. Just teeny tiny. I mean, I know that they're big. I know, but they're such little babies. They're such little babies. And I thought that would be really cool. That would be a lot of fun to do. And the night before we went and we're supposed to go, I was going to call. And right when I was going to go call after verifying, she was like, no, you can't do it. Your children don't need to see that. And I was like, all right, well, excuse me. But then, but in reference to, speaking of firearms, so Cactus Jack had known that I was giving my now dead ex-husband's firearms to Tony, which is my ex-brother-in-law. Tony Walker Nichols. He lives in Fletcher, Oklahoma, and he contracts work for Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and wife Gail worked for Circle K back then, and she had a son named Robert, a daughter named Amber, and a daughter named Tori. And you know, Tony and I had an agreement that the firearms would stay in the family, and he, as long as he came and picked them up, that he could take them. And you know, I figured, and I apologize if I was wrong, but I thought that because he had a hunter's license, which meant that he had gone through background checks and stuff, because he also was working on post, so I kind of figured that was like an automatic clearance. I apologize if that was that it wasn't an intent to like do anything illegal. It was just I thought that that was the right thing to do, because there were family heirlooms in there. There were black powder rifle and black powder pistols that were from the Revolutionary and Civil War, and I didn't want to keep that away from Tony. Like, Tony should have gotten it to begin with. I told him that when he came and picked him up. I told him that I thought that his dad should have given it to him instead of, you know, my dead ex-husband. But, you know, that is what it is. And there was a Gamma 3 gun save that, so my now dead ex-husband, he did not want to listen to me. Told him I am perfectly fine with the Second Amendment. I am all for gun rights. I really am. I truly am. But I also knew I could not maintain all of those firearms. Now, and I'm talking in reference to me giving my dead ex-husband's ones to Tony. So I told my now dead ex-husband when he was alive, all you have to do is get one gun safe. Put the guns in the gun safe. Because, you know, my children, my son and my daughter, were starting, my son was already starting to walk. My daughter was crawling. So it was like, I have repeatedly asked you to just get one gun safe. Just one. Just one gun. Like, all you need is one gun safe. I'll shut up if you just get one gun safe. Don't make me go New Jersey gun laws on you. And I'm not going to go, and I told him, I'm not going to go just New Jersey gun laws on you. I'm going to go Virgo, CDO, New Jersey gun laws on you. And CDO is technically OCD, but alphabetized because of my own CDO-ness. That lets you know. And so I told him, just get one gun safe. Just get one gun safe. Do not push it where I have to get the gun safe. Because if I have to get the gun safe, you are going to regret it. So then I kept reminding him and reminding him and reminding him and nagging, and I admit I was nagging, but not really. Because, you know, I mean, children talk, and duh. And so he didn't want to listen to me. So when I finally remembered, I got a gun safe just for the black powder rifles. And they were full. That safe was full. I got a gun safe for the black powder pistols. Again, full. I got a gun safe for the shotguns, full. got a gun safe for the regular rifles, completely full, and a gun safe for the regular pistols, completely full. Then I got gun locks, and I didn't let them get rekeyed to the same key. Virgo CDO. And then there was a gun safe for those keys, which were separate from the gun safe for the ammunition. And then I got a gun safe, which was the Gamma 3, that cherry wood lacquer, high polish finish. That had a radio, and then like the little code thing on the top, do 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 do, and then open it up. It's like oh, and that was the way I described it. It's like oh, because you thought it was a gun safe. You didn't know it was a gun safe until you opened it up. It looked like a radio, and for those who are into firearms, they can appreciate that, and just because it had the. It had the pneumatic kind of hydraulic opening system. So like all you did was, after you did the punch code of whatever, which was 1776, you tapped it, and then like the lid opened up slowly, and because of the way the light slowly entered it, was like sorry. It just seemed fitting. And so, but I thought that I had given all of them to Tony because I had told him that all that was for that. And not until after being in Carrollton, Texas, what I remember is Cactus Jack was fiddling with my medications, told me to take my medications for that time, and then I had gotten a phone number to some friend of his from high school who was living in Boca Raton with her construction worker fiance, and I think her name was Jennifer. Supposedly, she had been an exotic dancer in the Austin area, and whatchamacallit, she had brought up the gun safe thing, which I don't, now, looking back, I didn't realize. That's probably cognitive stuff. But she had said that she had the Gamma 3 thing and brought it up, and so then mailed it through the USPS, because I had forgotten all that other stuff, and, I mean, I know that I can pick up stuff that's heavy, so the weight thing is kind of like, I mean, I can pick up a motorcycle, so, I'm just saying, that's a lot lighter than a motorcycle. I moved all of those gun safes up the stairs by myself. So, yeah, I'm just going to throw that out there. All those individual gun safes, I moved those up the stairs by myself without a dolly. So, just saying. A little alarm clock one compared to like a rifle gun safe, kind of just saying. Just saying, like, there's a big weight difference, so like the rifle gun safe is a lot heavier than, little alarm clock radio. By a lot. Anyway. But I already contacted the Carrollton Police Department as well as the FBI and, all that stuff. So, and not making light of it, just, I already did that. I might have done it a little late because I didn't know any better, but I at least tried. But there were also the uniforms that my now dead ex-husband had, where I don't know where they were from, but I was going to figure out which law enforcement agency that I should take it to, all the different ones, because I didn't want to get in trouble for that. And I realized I would have been questioned. I would have been questioned. I am not ignorant enough to think that I wouldn't have been questioned about that. But there was a lot of stuff that was going on at that time, and I was trying to take care of like a whole bunch of stuff all at once, and I forget things very easily. I had a head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000. I was in a coma for a while, I had a subarachnoid hemorrhage in the frontal lobe of my brain. I deal with headaches and migraines, and I have memory deficits and cognitive disorders, and I went from college algebra with trigonometry and calculus to second grade math. So it wasn't to be mean or anything like that. It's the complete opposite. It's like I had to make sure that my children were squared away as far as their biological father's memorial, and then find out about the Bronze Star and stuff like that, and then also, you know, all the different things is going up in the chain of command because of all the stuff that was going on in medical hold that was technically still going on, and despite it being changed to Warrior Transition Unit, and going up the chain of command and all that sort of stuff, and just, it was a lot of stuff in 2008. A lot of stuff, and it all was like from like the end of January to like April of 2008. So just say it was a lot of stuff I was dealing with. And yes, you know, I did write a check because Cactus Jack, also known as Jeffrey Kirkendall Jr., had said that it was paying off his credit card debts and student loans, and he was going to pay me back with interest. And so at this point, you know, how much he owes for not paying the car note like he said he was going to, as well as groceries and other things, that's gotta be at least like $500,000, if not more, not forgetting the other stuff. Just pointing that out there. But yeah, because the car was repossessed from when Cactus Jack was driving it. And so, you know, I know that my dead ex-husband, he said that he had been to Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan and Russia, and where else did he say he was stationed? He said he was stationed in the UK, and so yeah, I don't know if he actually was, but since he lied about, you know, 2 or 3 different Purple Hearts, I would doubt that he was actually stationed there. So, but Cactus Jack had a thing about authentic uniforms, and, you know, because of that World War II reenactment stuff. And as he said, somebody has to play the bad guy in historical reenactments. And I said, but you don't have to have authentic gear to do that. Like, you don't have to have authentic stuff. You could just use replica or reproduction stuff. And he did not want to listen to me. But he wanted to wear his little 151 t-shirt thing whenever he possibly could, for whatever stupid reason. And so I was like, okay, I don't know who to report that to. Like, I now, I mean, at this point, I talked with, like, the San Antonio FBI, and I wrote letters to the FBI, and I wrote letters to the CIA, handwritten, and then letters to, after CID in JBLM in Washington State told me to contact the Pentagon. So then I just kind of, and the Tacoma police told me to contact the FBI. Kind of went a whole bunch. Mailed those letters. Although, yeah, and then I just started writing and typing and stuff. So there's that. So I did what I could as best as I could, and these videos, partially to clarify, partially other aspects, but yeah, because the information is important. It is realistically important. There's no denying that. But as far as that 151 Road Warrior garbage, yeah, I told him he sounded like a terrorist, and I wasn't going to stand for it, and I hoped that he would be charged. Him and everyone that he involved with that. So that way, you know, that wasn't allowed. And I mean, like, if they knew what he was doing and all that, you know, whatever. But yeah, so, I mean, I had no idea. I wasn't a part of that, obviously, because I didn't know when he did that and when all that stuff, but yeah. But yeah, he tried to tell me that the people I knew through scuba diving were his friends and not my friends. And I was like, why are you making this a competition? And you're not buying stuff from the store, so, you know, like, duh. You know, you have nothing to offer them except for, you know, you talking about your 151 thing, and he had a thing about the e-tool. And it was one of those, yeah, what your lawyer said was funny. Yes, I don't deny that, but you do know that you were, like, put on a watch list after that. And he was like, no. And I was like, yeah, I hate my now dead ex-husband for having that association, because that automatically means I'm on a watch list. Before scuba diving, and then after scuba diving, absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely, especially where I went scuba diving and where I landed and surfaced from. So, getting back to that. So here are a few pictures taken of me at the time. So that's me walking out to the staging area, and that's me getting ready, and then that's me getting my scuba tank ready. And you know, how few tattoos I had at that time, maybe, you know, but in a bathing suit with my scuba gear, then my scuba gear on, and this was a scuba wetsuit from, I think it was 6 mil or 7 mil from International Scuba, and then I got my own, and it was a Farmer John one that I got on eBay, my white fins, and I got those from International Scuba. And my children thought I looked like an astronaut. I was like, no, these are fins. It's a different color gear, just saying. It's very, I mean, it kind of looks the same, but not. And so then that's me in the water with my snorkel and my, not the ladybug neoprene cover, but a different one. And then those are pictures from Aquarina Hot Springs, from the time of doing the underwater naturalist stuff. So these are different ones. I know that the pictures are kind of out of order from the story, but and writings and stuff and reality. But yeah, different areas of that, and showing little fishies. No specialty filter. I think it was a 12 megapixel, maybe, if that. So little fishy. And so yeah, and that's how close they got to me. Got that close to me. Okay, what's going on? Because they just came out, and I was like, okay, you know, hey, what's going on, you guys? It's like going out of nature, and so. We're going to the, so there's this one time I went to the San Antonio Zoo, and I'll pause real quick. So I went to the San Antonio Zoo, and I was pushing my son in the stroller, pregnant with my daughter, and oh, look at the little teddy bear, and my now dead ex-husband looks at me and goes, that's a grizzly bear. But he's so cute. Look how fluffy he is. And the grizzly bear, he was in the pool. He had his little paws up on the part before going in the water, and he's just sitting there. And I'm like, get my camera, and I'm like, look over here. Come here. And he had his little paws out. He looks over and goes, what's up? Oh, you little tab bear. You little tab bear. And yes, I do call. Not that now, yes, if I met Senator Ted Cruz, I would be respectful. But yes, I call him Ted Bear. That's my nickname for him, is Ted Bear. I do not deny that. It's a personal thing. Anyway. And I still think that he should be on the Supreme Court. It's a personal preference. But, going back to, I would think he would make his personal thoughts. But, so then going back to this, my certification is through Kevin Murphy from International Scuba. Talked with him a bunch of stuff in different classes and stuff. But in reference to Aquarina Hot Springs in San Marcos, there was the... doing the pool work and before going out there, and it's the National Geographic open water version that I had done. And I had not realized until much later that I was the only unattached female that was in the scuba classes. I didn't realize that that was a thing. But yeah, though I know that my scuba gear was taken in by the U-Haul truck issue when moving from Irving, Texas back to San Antonio, Texas. I did not put that on the USAA thing because I didn't realize that it was on the truck. I thought that I had it in with me, so I was obviously wrong. And there was a lot going on at the time. Not forgetting that there was the storage unit and then the stuff that my now ex-boyfriend, Patrick Kennedy, wouldn't let me get out of the apartment. So it was so, but going back to this, I had not known all of that, and realistically it wasn't until more recently that I learned that or realized that. And so going to that, yeah, there was a few teachers that I had a crush on, and one especially in particular, but I had to earn my grade my own way, and I didn't want to have a relationship in that regard to earn that way. I wanted to actually earn my grade by doing my own work, because again, scuba diving, you know, apparently you have a scuba diving buddy, but you know, still you're responsible for yourself nonetheless. And so I took all of my coursework extremely seriously, and you know, scuba certifications, all that stuff. I wanted to make sure that I knew everything I possibly could before I ever went into the ocean scuba diving officially. So on that, I'm gonna stop the video there and go do another one because, you know, insomnia. And so